right.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's our Monday. Woo!
So Monday.
Look, you can see the table though, because the angle I put the camera at today. and it kind of looks clean. That's funny.
Kinda.
Hi, welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
Oh, sorry, I moved the chair while you were talking.
It's okay.
Hi. You never know what's going to go on with that camera. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in maybe going to be balmy and sunny today, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there. It's gonna be like 67. I think.
It was nice when I came in. I think the camera's tilted. I'm gonna try to let it be.
The Bracken Mountain Coffee Club is here, so it's warm enough for them.
They're enjoying their So I'm gonna try to have my intro knitting lesson. I'd love to have it outside if she'd like to, but I may have to look for a different shady spot. So we are probably going to try to wrap up a little early today so we can go figure that out. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to move this there. I tend to be louder on camera. I think it's my stage background. So I'm going to move it a little closer to you.
Okay.
And more central anyway. If it's closer to me, it's like, Anyway. I already have to deal with when we're filming the buttons. You all can't see it at home, but there's buttons like right near my face. There's one here and there's one here. This is for the photos and this is for record and stop. And they're right, like I just have to pretend they're not there because you won't see them. But I do. Anyway, what are you doing, Liz?
Weaving in ends. Which,
ooh. With our little ebony needles. Those are super cute.
I finished.
She finished
this on Saturday.
What were we saying? Like a week and a half?
10 days.
A sweater in a week and a half in 10 days.
Yep. You
could block that down, you know.
I could.
That's beautiful.
I probably won't, but
that's absolutely beautiful.
Yep.
Can you hold it up again so people can see the lovely yoke? That's gorgeous. Look at that. So remind our lovely viewers again, what was it and what did you do and how this, if they want to do this, they have to tackle it on their own.
It's the Steinkriger sweater.
I'll try to copy that from a different post, a different description and get it into the description here.
It was a bottom-up sweater that I did top down. Mm-hmm. So
there were changes. It was not as easy as you thought to just flip it. But it was doable, right?
It was doable. Yeah. Just, like, you kind of got to figure out. And I liked this because she was, like, for easier decreases in the yoke, she did them on rows that were solid color. Mm-hmm. So... Which is, I think, a good pattern writer will do that. But she had other... Not you can't always do that if it needs to happen. It was a side note. It was like, hey... Okay. These are the rows you need to do the increases on, and if you want them easier, do them on these rows, which was just one down. Okay. So I chose to do that for my increase rows, and the math didn't always play out. So it could be me. Anyway. But I decided to do it top down, and I added detail to the sleeves because she didn't have any. So
she lizified it all up and down and sideways.
So, there was that.
Yep.
And then I did my hair. Mm-hmm. It's all woodsy.
It's not red anymore.
No.
I see like 3 reds.
Yeah. Because, like,
just for fun.
Looking out at the woods around my house, there's 3 red
reds.
Bud trees or whatever. And then there's forsythia. That's like yellow. And the rest are looking kind of dead, and some bright greens on my willow tree. And then winter is supposed to be here, so I put some frost in it.
All this thought that goes into your hair. I love it.
Yeah. And then...
I say, can I put some water on my hair and squish it and scrunch it again and go to work? Is it possible?
I started a new sweater.
You sent me pictures last night, and I didn't notice until, like, after you went to bed, almost.
Okay. It's all very soft.
You are like the colorwork queen lately. So what pattern is this?
This one is the Black Rose by the same pattern writer that wrote the Steinkriger.
Okay, did she write this one also bottom up, and you're doing it top down?
This one, the yoke was supposed to be bottom up.
Oh, like start here and go up?
Yep, like the Winter
Like the Winter Shawl that I have. And then pick up stitches or release stitches here and go down?
Yep.
And you said, screw that?
Well, I read through the projects on Ravelry, and quite a few people were like, I had trouble because it's like 200 and something stitches at the very bottom. And several people were like, it wound up being a Mobius, even though she's like knit a bunch of rows before you join in around so that it's easier.
So it doesn't. So people had trouble.
People were like, it's a lot of stitches. So I was like,
just means you have to be careful. But I understand.
It does. And I really wanted to. I didn't want to do a provisional cast on and, all that fun stuff. So I was like, I'll just start top down.
I just remember what it's called. I was trying to remember when one of our knitters bought yarn for the Winter Shawl and was wondering if there's like a different way to do it, to change it to top down. I'm like, I can't advise you on that. It's not my forte. And the instructions in the Winter Shawl, it's called the cow yak. I couldn't remember the acronym. It's cast on with waste yarn and knit. And you just regular cast on and knit for 3 rows with waste yarn. And later you just have to rip that out. You kind of have to cut it and rip it out. Or you can do the provisional cast. But that three rows.
She wanted you to do the rows with the cast on yarn and then cut it out. And I was like,
I was forgetting what the acronym
almost rather do a provisional cast on to where I could just pull it.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people would probably. Maybe the 3 rows is so you can not have it Mobius twist, but sounds like it's still difficult for people. So
it turning a bottom up sweater or a bottom yoke up sweater into a top down it's a lot of reading the pattern and then going backwards. Like how many stitches for the neck, and it's not as easy as let me just
flip it.
And then because I didn't flip the chart upside down, I just color coded it on my phone. Because she used a gradient of browns, like black and then dark brown all the way through light brown, and then a pop. And I'm using reds, going dark reds all the way through a light brown, and then my pop is the teal. So I had to color code the chart to where it was a little easier.
You've got a pink in there.
The pink is...
I was reluctant to like toss in, and then you're like, ooh. I went, okay, cool.
In the pattern, the pink is only on the top round, and then like her instructions are like, do the row of pink, bind off, and then you do a slip stitch around the collar in the red, and then you pull up your little crochet bits in the teal. So
I'm only following part of that because my brain isn't super functional today, but that's cool.
Yeah. So I'm like, cool. But I wanted the more pink down in there, so I redid the pattern and put a little more pink in there.
I'm just impressed and slightly, like, I don't know what the right word is, that you're putting more pink in.
When we put the thing
you're
together,
turning pink now.
I'm not a pink person, but like the fade needed the pink, and you were like, "Hey, how about the pink?" And I was like,
"And it's growing on her."
It is.
Okay, I'm also giggling because I was not a pink person, and like, look at me now. When I was a teenager, I was like, get pink as far as possible away from me. I'm trying not to use the bad words here. And I have changed my tune. As I've gotten older, I have grown more accepting of more colors. For me. For everyone else, it's all lovely. So
yellow, like, this has more yellow in it than I normally...
Than you would have
yellows and oranges are
10 years ago, you would have been like, what?
Are not my thing, but like, with Noro yarns, kind of, everybody's like, oh, I don't like this bit in there. But it makes the color work sing to have, colors that you might not like. So
contrasts are fun. Speaking of that, I've got some to show off to you in a minute. So
So that was my...
That's your weekend?
That was my weekend.
Okay.
Saturday, finish this. Sunday and Monday, do my hair. And then Monday night, I started my...
That's awesome. You have tons of projects going. Especially sweaters.
Do.
Sweater is the new Papillon.
Yeah, at least for right now. Like, I don't know. I've been obsessed with color work. Like, and this was a DK pattern. So that's another change. Like, the
bigger needles, bigger yarn.
Steinkriger, I only went up like one needle size because it was written for a 10. And this was written for like a 7. And I was like, no. So, yeah. Carol and I were talking about it on the walk to the car. And like my thistle sweater, the thistle should only be like this big.
And instead they're...
Because it's fingering weight. And instead they're, a good deep. And I kind of like that. So, I like blowing up them.
Yeah. So, at midday, this weekend, yesterday, because Monday for us is part of the weekend, I said I should block my, and this has a good ending. Everyone out there is probably like, uh-oh. I should block my LON.
Yeah.
And I'm busy doing all this tax stuff. This is probably why my head hurts today, is I was on top of filming a tips and tricks and a newsletter. I'm trying to get some tax, like straightening out things for my accountant for last year. And so I didn't get around to laying it out, to spinning it out and laying it out till about 3. Mm-hmm. It soaked for a really long time because I got caught up in one of the months I was trying to reconcile. And I flipped it over, I laid it out, and I flipped it over so the back could dry before I went to bed. And I woke up and the back was actually much drier than the front. So I picked it up to say I could still maybe, the no frills sweater, I kind of like it dried during the day.
Yeah.
Because it was only just a little damp. This one I picked it up to start putting it on. I'm like, oh, it's still way too damp. It's a worsted weight instead of a fingering with a mohair. And it was like soaked through. It was like, super, saturated, which is good for blocking. I think I managed to get a little more length out of the torso. We'll see what happens when it's fully dry. But I didn't want gravity to work against me. Like I had a little bit of defying gravity playing in my head. And I went, nope, putting it back down. Gonna let it dry.
My brain is playing the Mission Impossible where Tom Cruise is coming out of the ceiling.
I think it would become a little dress-like if I tried to let it dry on me. Like it would stretch a little more than I want it to. And when I was blocking it, I was trying to get a tad more length out of the torso while not getting too much more length out of the sleeves.
Yeah.
So I tried to push the sleeves up a little when I laid it out, and I tried to tug the torso down just a little, but I wasn't going to pin it, like, aggressively. I tried to put some stabilizing pins in place in case the cat decided to lie on it, and to my knowledge, the cat was not on it at all, which is weird, because he likes damp things, but maybe he doesn't like ribbing. Maybe that texture is just not his deal. So if you want to see what that looks like on, you'll need to tune in on Thursday, because I may just wait till then, because tomorrow I've got a doctor's appointment in the morning. We might be filming our normal product of the week. I'm not sure yet, but I think I will save the LON till Thursday, especially since, like, today at least it's going to be super nice. So I'm wearing my Reluctant Homeschooler today with all its reds and pinks and all its fun things in it. And I find that especially, you know what, but I didn't realize that our heat was set as high as it was when you checked it on Saturday. So I was overheating and having to take off long sleeve sweaters inside when I was teaching. So I was already ready for that. Anyway, neither here nor there. So I blocked my LON, but I can't show you off post blocking because it's still wet. And if I had started the blocking earlier in the day, it might have been fine, but I didn't. I did a lot of adulting this weekend. Oh my gosh. You did. And it's coming back to hit me right now. But so let's see. Part of me feels like I didn't get anything done, and part of me knows I got a lot done this weekend. So
That's why Tuesday check-ins are good, because,
They are,
you know,
to remind
we
you
actually go, hey, how much did we actually do this weekend? Oh, we actually did quite a bit. Oh my gosh, you did quite a bit.
I wanted, so here, so you see what happened was, I wanted to get this one done, and it's almost done, but it's a lot taller than I thought, and life. So I started this. All of this has happened since I saw you last, which is kind of great. This is brioche. This is the Love Spoon hat by Katrin Schubert, and it's got a lot of brioche increases and decreases to create. So a Love Spoon. I was looking this up, and I don't know why I thought it was Amish. That was really silly of me. It's Celtic. It's more of an Irish thing, I think, or just a British Isles thing of an intricately carved spoon that you give to your betrothed, you know, or a sign of love to someone you want to be with. So this has all of the intricate, you know, and the Love Spoon tends to have, like, top and bottom are both intricately carved. I saw this last year and went, ooh, but I was busy with Christmas presents, and then, you know, I was life. So and this color combo, I thought it would look really great in the color combo from the shawl that I ripped out for the rickrack that I ripped out, but the rickrack was fingering weight, and this was written for a DK, and I went, oh, I want to do it in the DK fiber spates. We have really low fiber spates inventory right now, and I'm scrambling to even have the money to order more. At the moment, cash flow is fun in the winter. And yes, half of you are going, but it's winter, isn't everyone knit? No. Or if they are knitting, they're knitting through their stash. This is a fact of life for at least my yarn shop in the winter. I don't know if it works for everybody else's, but January and February are dry months. So I decided to just double strand. I'm pulling from the inside and the outside. I don't know if you can see that, of each skein.
And that's burnished in Blue Lagoon.
It is. And it's very Ukrainian in colors, and it just pops. It just really sings. And I thought about waiting and to see if Casapinka put out another pattern. Maybe I'd try the pattern with this, but then I said, no, I really want to do this hat. And I think it looks fantastic. I'm so excited with this. I have about 6 more rows before I start the decreases for the top. It spreads out a little, and I'm using my circle row counter. And with brioche, you do each row twice, so I only have to move the ringlets on once every 2 rows. And we're watching people on the plaza who are trying to figure out the furniture out there, because they power wash, so the furniture is a hot mess. They're trying to figure out where they can sit and have coffee. That's a big group. Yeah. Ooh, look how good it is when it's on.
Oh, wow.
Like, because the pattern stretches out.
Yeah.
Ta-da! I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm almost done. I'm really super excited about this. I was hoping to have it done, and then it could be like, look, I finished a hat in like 3 days. Which if it wasn't brioche, I probably would be done. So this is one thing I worked on this weekend, and I'm so obsessed. And then we talked for product of the week about the Chevron baby blanket, and this is all I have left of the first game. But so Espace Tricot has 2 versions of it, and the more modern second version is the one that I'm making. And I'm finding, so I started with, since it's a bigger yarn on bigger needles, I went up 2 needle sizes from a 9 to a 10.5. And I was like, it's going to be so big, I'm going to cut out 1 repeat of the Chevron pattern. And that was 24 stitches. So I started, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like it. So I went down to a 10, and I kept in all the stitches. And this is how it's looking so far. I'm really, there it goes. I'm really loving it.
You're a whole lot further than you were when I last saw it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I did more rows of the grello, which looks a little bit extra yellow on here. But I picked out a rainbow kind of from amongst a bunch of our new colors and some of our old. I'm hoping for the gray, so it's going to alternate between gray and another color, and each of the other 5 colors gets 2 stripes. And I'm really hoping that it'll only take 3 balls of the gray. This is the end of my first ball. I am carrying the yarn, every time it comes to the right side, I'm twisting there. I don't know if you can see. Oh, that's not. You can't see it on that side because that's not the right side. The correct side. I am carrying one, like nothing happened here because I'm between colors, but as you can see the gray is there. The Japanese maple is there. I'm carrying up to try to conserve yarn. And I thought, this is how much yarn I had left from one skein of Japanese maple, did those 2 stripes, which is all I'm going to do with the Japanese maple. And I had, let's zero this out. 0, come on, 0. Boop-a-doo. I have 25 grams left. So 3/4 of a skein did those 2 stripes. I'm thinking my one skein I have left, it's got 2 stripes, which is 12 rows each, and there were 4 rows at the bottom. So each skein should get me about 2.5 stripes. That might work. I might just run out with the three skeins of the gray. We had 3 skeins of this gray, the Silver Sage. That was a different dye lot than the rest. So I'm like, ooh, they're mine. Got 2 more left. And just so y'all can see the other colors. And at first I had them in a different order, and I think I'm going to just do them in the rainbow order. So it's these 3 are going to come after this. And I'm like,
Do you need assistance?
I'm going to try to do it all on my own.
There you go.
So the Grello is really going to super pop up with this, but then it's going to go to the Aloe Vera, and then the Siberian Squill and the Smoke Bush. And the Japanese Maple, the Aloe Vera, and the Smoke Bush are new colors. The other 2 and the main color are ones we've had for a while. I think this is going to be a fantastic shop sample. It's going to be huge, but I really wanted people to see the entirety of it. Part of me was like, I'll get it done while it's product of the week. And yeah, right. But this is a lot more progress than I thought I would have made for having started this like Wednesday. So in just about a week, working on other projects. So I am hoping that it will only take 8 skeins of yarn to make this blanket, which might sound like a lot. But for today at least, and depending on if we even have a chance to film tomorrow, it's 15% off. These guys are 15% off with the code product of the week. It's $13.50 regular price for this yarn. 15% saves you not quite $2, but maybe, close to that on this. So if you think about it being like $11, so that's a $90 blanket, which
is pretty low mid range.
If you really care about someone, it's not as cost effective as acrylic, absolutely. But if you want an heirloom, really cool blanket for a family member that you want to spend the money on, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so I have plans to. I think I have maybe one other thing to show. If I have to think through again. My brain's not super working, but this part here is the gauge swatch I just did. I have a bunch of new knitters or new to sweater people making the flax by Tin Can Knits. So I have plans to use super basic Encore, color spun. I'm not sure if the color spun's online because it's hard to get everything online, to make a flax sweater, which is a great first sweater. No, you don't have to do the short row shaping, all that kind of stuff. And so I tested my gauge, and I need to go down to 7 on this. I told you, 7. And I didn't bring home the 5s. I thought I was going to have to go up to get gauge instead of down. And so I didn't have the right needles to start the collar, so I didn't start this. But I did do my gauge swatch, so I'm ready to go. It could be the only other thing I have to show off.
Did the ittiest bittiest gauge swatch ever. I was just like, yep, okay, that's going to work.
The hat, I didn't gauge swatch. I have been lucky so far with hats and not having to gauge swatch. I have known knitters to come in and have a hat not fit. And they did, I don't tell people to gauge swatch for hats, but sometimes it won't fit. So, I think, let me see. Okay. I was hoping if there was time, but we kind of should go start getting ready and doing things we need to do today to talk about the upcoming knit along. Starting in April, we're doing pressed flowers. And I've only gotten, I know which other thing I have to show off, which is not this, but I've started showing this off. Squirrel. So
No,
pressed
not a
flower
thing.
shawl. I really need to get back to this because I'm still only this far into my pressed flower shawl. But isn't it pretty? And I'm using, here are my other two skeins I put aside for this. I'm using Feederbrook Farm Luminous Flux and Forest for the solid. And they're gorgeous together. And I reordered, because we ran out of both of these. So I reordered both of these so people could do it just like me, because people sometimes want to do it just like me. And this one looks pretty much the same. This one might have some even brighter colors in it. But the solids, when she dyes them, they come out different every time. Because this is the new batch of Forest. It's not the same.
So
I mean, it's you can see. Go ahead.
The first time we
same
ordered
color.
Forest, it came in the lighter.
It came in what Liz has right there.
Yeah. And the second time we ordered the Forest, it came in that. And the third time we ordered the Forest, it came in this. So
if I make kits for the Luminous Flux, they probably won't be with, because this color we don't have. I might be able to, hang on, it'll be a little cooler, but I might be able to pair it with this.
that would...
Like mine is like this, and we might make some kits like this with the Patagonia. I think that would be gorgeous, but we can't. You can't get exactly what I have, and that's okay. I might also pair it with other things. It depends on how much we have in stock, right? So yeah, there's that. No, I just remembered the last thing I wanted to. Oh, it's under here. Last thing I want to show off, and then we need to go do stuff. And what a hot mess we have. So this morning I pulled out. I was working so hard on everything else. I was like, what can I do for morning meditation? And I pulled out, I want to show you all how this is coming. My Auxin shawl is actually a lot closer to being done than I thought. It's from Pompom 42. And Pompom, whatever the newest Pompom number is, it's out for delivery today. And I have to see what the sell date is. Maybe it's this week, maybe it's next week. But a new pom-pom is arriving, which is super exciting, and it's reminding me of all the pom-pom things I have on needles that I haven't finished yet. So I am halfway through, not even halfway, but I'm on the last repeat of this.
That is so pretty.
The eighth, which once I fit, and then there's some edging on the top, and then there's all this ribbing edging on the side. So when I said I was done with 2x2 ribbing when I finished my sweater, 2x2 ribbing is not done with me. This has, let me find it. Where'd it go?
It's a gorgeous 2x2 ribbing
It is.
ruffle.
It's this huge, thick, like, take a look at that. 2x2 ribbing on the edge of this. This is on my closest to being finished, and I've been neglecting my shawls because, like Liz, I've been fascinated with sweaters lately. So, gotta try to finish this one up because I have finished, like, this will be the third thing with the Saxony. Hair in my mouth. The Saxony, which is our cashmere yarn, which when we say we have cashmere yarn and people go like, ooh, and then they see it and they go, that's not what I think of when I think of cashmere. It's just fluffy and yummy and awesome.
It's 75% cashmere and 25% merino.
75% cashmere.
And it is super yummy.
It is so yummy
Super
and
yummy.
soft, but people when they come in the shop looking for cashmere are looking for like the super thin, super fine, not as fine as mohair, but they're looking for like DK weight or sport weight, and this is worsted weight and fluffy and tweedy, which is kind of awesome actually, but it's not what they think of when they come in looking for cashmere. So, this is the third thing. It is the only thing that's not finished, but the other ones are like I've been using them more as personal use items than on display in the shop. I have to fix that. So, so this is on my list for I'm going to try to finish. There's a couple things I'd like to finish this week. I know it's not Fiofif anymore, but wouldn't it be nice to have a few more projects off needles? So, that's my check-in, our check-in for the week. That's my side of it. And we need to go get ready for the day.
We do.
Yeah, I'm going to teach someone how to knit. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to figure out where outside we might be able to do that, since people are hanging out outside because it's nice outside. So we love y'all. This morning it tends to dip and hover, but this morning we were at 1420. We hit 20. So that's only 80 people away from giving y'all an online only sale, like a YouTube only sale. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Is that it? Or all your ends woven in?
No. All the blue, I think, except for my collar, is woven in. And it's all the color work now that I have to figure out how to color work weaving in ends.
Yeah, as long as you don't dig too deep, it's kind of okay, but I get it. Trying to hide them so they won't be seen on the front side can sometimes be a little bit of a... Or trying to navigate around the floats. That's a pain in the bum.
Do color work. It'll be fun!
Oh, we're doing a color work sweater for our fall knit along, though, still. Definitely.
Yeah, but you're doing it with your color change, so you have less ends to weave in.
Maybe. Everything. No. Are you talking about pressed flowers?
Yeah.
That's not stranded color work. That's mosaic.
That's mosaic.
Anyway. The sweater that's after that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about the next one down.
The next one.
So we're doing like fake Fair Isle and then true like Fair Isle, but some people don't call it Fair Isle because it's not the Fair Isle patterns. Anyway, we got to go. We'll talk to you, if not tomorrow. So heads up, if there's no Wednesday product of the week thing, VSC, it's because I had stuff to do and we didn't do one. And we'll just keep Bud on sale for another week. That might be what we do just to not stress us out too much. So if you don't see a Wednesday video from us, we're okay. I just had to go talk to someone. It's a regular checkup, follow-up. Nothing to stress anybody out there in YouTube land. And we'll see you on Thursday. I think we'll just call that right now. We'll say we're going to keep Bud on sale for another week. And because life is too...
Crazy?
Too much right now to try to add one more thing. So... we'll see you Thursday, and we'll do our Dear Becky and Lizzie. And if you have any questions, you should send them to
Liz@sundragonartandfiber.com.
That is the email address. And tonight is virtual sit and stitch. You can come see how my day went with this, and how your day went, and how everybody else's day went.
How my day went with this.
It is 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Liz was like, I'm about to step in and say it. And you get into Zoom with the shop phone number.
828-877-3550.
We'll see you later. Okay, bye.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff, yay.